Hey guys, this is Materi, and I'm here today to make a track. I'm actually going to be remaking one of my old tracks, uh, just for fun, just to show you guys the process and hopefully get a better mix. And the track that I'm going to be remaking is my old Lethal Bizzle POW remix, and I love this so much. So we're gonna do it. So I guess I'll show you guys warping real quick. So let's listen to this. That's really fast. So I'm gonna unwarp that. I'm gonna bring my markers to where they belong. Get the beginning and the end. I'm gonna zoom in, and I'm just gonna warp. I'm gonna go to the first beat, double click, then double click off that one, right click, set 1 here, right click on that yellow thing again, and I'm just going to do warp straight, and it's going to figure out, hopefully, somewhat good. Nope, not good enough. Well, if you do warp straight, it leaves you with one warp marker, which is good. But now we have to just turn on our metronome and listen real quick. And that's way off. So I know the first beat's somewhere over here. Right there. There's the first beat. And I know that goes on the 9, just because I understand music, I guess is the easiest way to explain it. 2011. So if I don't double click and I just drag this, it's gonna change everything after that. So that's usually good if you want to try to get nice results without having to warp everything. So I'm just gonna keep that like that, and I'm gonna find a place way over here. That's way off. It goes right here. Just warp that, double click and warp that, and that should be pretty good. That should be just about on point. Yeah, that'll be fine. So, I guess, where to start? I know that I sampled that bell. So I can try to find that sample again. Or I could... Yeah, I'm gonna just see what I used for that sample. Just because I want it to sound pretty much the same as it does, but just with the better mix and all that fun stuff. So, a fun little trick that you should be able to do, but I guess my Ableton doesn't let me do it anymore. Come on. I don't know why it doesn't let me do it. It's kind of annoying. Let me see if I can do it this way. You should be able to drag in your project files, your ALS files, and let me see if I can do that. Oh, here we go. I guess we could take it. Oh, that's really cool. I didn't know that. We could take this by group and we could throw it in here like that. If we use the Ableton browser, that's really nice. So I think from now on, what I used to do for my tutorials is I would make the track on the fly, and that's just a really, really hard thing to do, like not to have anything planned out. So I think from now on I might just make a track and then remake it as a tutorial. That will make me better prepared to talk about it and all that fun stuff. So I think I'll do that from now on, but I'm trying just to get this crap to work, but it's not letting me fucking drag it in. Fuck you, bitch. Okay. I'm gonna save that just in case. Come on. No, nothing? You're not gonna let me? It says it's loading. What the hell? You know what? I'm just gonna bell it up. Okay. Hey, that's actually the thing that I made up. I'm almost positive that I had just one hit, so I'm gonna look up 21BL11. I think it should be somewhere in my like rap samples, but whatever. Yep, here we go. Yep, this was it. And I'm just gonna put the gain up. And I'm gonna put this on warp. And this should be on the 4. This should be on the 2, or the halfway in between. It should be over here, just like that. And then we grab this. I guess that might not be on the 4. Let's see if triplets. Yeah, triplets give us what we want. It's halfway, and that should be right. How did I do this? I don't even remember. That must have been another sample. Oh yeah. Oh, this entire song is like a sample. Whatever. I'm still gonna do it. I really like this beat. Bring that over here. And just... I don't think I did that. Yeah. That's the one, right? Whatever. Warp this. Just gonna drag this to the end. Okay, so I guess there's not much to really talk about until we get to the mixing part. Which, I mean, I'm pretty much there. So I just select it all and press Control J, and that's the same as right-clicking and going to consolidate. And that just makes it one thing. So I could loop this, and now...
Well, well.
Okay, so this is not correctly warped. Where am I?
Well, you get a punch in the nose like that. You get a big nose breathe like that. You get a chip on the floor like that. You get a spot for time like that. Now say you in the ring like that. You get elbow drop like well.
I wonder if I could do that. Drop my new style like for the beat. Top brand dogs with me. You don't know about me. For the beat. Who's gonna start?
Right, face it, same way that made Oopsie Daisy. Right, face it, same. Right, face it, same way that made Oopsie Daisy.
Okay, so I screwed that up. This warping is really bad, so.
Me. If you don't know about me.
Swag, face it, same way that made Oopsie Daisy. Same way getting hit from my waist, man. Same way you're not man. Same way
I'm lead for the beat. Mike is for the spine. About me. Got skipper and fight. I can bring the vision alive. I'm old. Mike is for the spine. I'm a sky. I can bring the vision alive. I'm old. Alive. Mike is for the.
I'm old school. I'm from the manor. I'm old school. I'm old school. I'm old school. I'm from the manor.
Vision alive.
I'm old school. I'm from the manor. I've appeared every race. Bitch, I'm MC Shabba, but I was on an original.
Just a lot of figuring out.
Big balls. And I don't need a mind when I'm 9 fuck that. I'm gonna give a fly in the whole hood never like am I writing? Cause I'm a hood riding or red riding. What big balls you have?
For the beat. I'm lead for the beat. Top brand dogs with me. For the beat. For the beat. For the beat. For the beat. Lead for the beat. Lead for the beat. Top brand dogs with me.
Yeah, I'm really doing this to show you guys the mixing process, but I may as well just go over all this. So let's rename this. So that's our main thing. So I do have the acapella somewhere over here. Is it under this or is it under remix? Let's find out. This is Lethal Bizzle. Okay, so this is going to be really fun. This is going to take a long time, is figuring out the acapella, so I'm going to name this vocals. And actually, I might do that afterwards. Because it might be easier just to avoid it right now. I think I skipped like an entire verse, actually. Let me just finish this. So I am just transposing to get that different note using the same sample. Nothing too difficult.
2011.
There we go. Gonna boost the gain on or up for that one. And I'm gonna put warping on. Oops, warping. And I have to drag this out a bit. Come on. Okay, so I'm gonna just click the multiply by 2, and that's just gonna give me a little bit more room to work with. And I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna click at the end of this, and okay, so mine's a little more straight than this sample. So I'm gonna warp this. It should be like da 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 da. So triplets is what it's gonna be. Da. Let me see. Let's see if this sounds right. Da, 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 da. Okay, so I'm actually gonna keep that, and I'm gonna do left and right so I can kind of hear them side by side. Also gonna lower the tempo. Take this, bring it right here. Okay, so that sounds very rough right now. So I'm going to go into the fades and just drag that, something like that. And it's going to sound funky. And I'm just trying to make it sound right. Maybe drag that up a little bit more. It's gonna sound funky no matter what I do, I think. So phone's ringing. Oh well. I think that's the best the best that I'm gonna get, so let's hear it. Oopsie. Screwing up all over the place. Maybe move this a little bit so we get the attack. Drag this. Okay, let's hear how this sounds. Okay, so let's figure this out. So that should sound correct. If I... Let me see. What is that sound from? I can make this work, I think, and it might sound a little better. Maybe not. Nope. Shit. This is gonna bug me so much. Let's put this back. Okay, what the fuck did I do? Okay. Bear with me, I'm sorry. Sounds like it's being rushed. You know? No matter what I fucking do. It's gonna bug the hell out of me. Oops. If I just take that off. That sounds a little better. I kinda like that better, so.
2011. Lead for the beat. Top brand dogs of beat. You don't know about me? Yeah, I'm back. Lead for the beat. Top brand dogs of beat. You don't know.
Yeah, my triple grid is still on. So again, warping and just fixing where everything is placed, making it sound a little nicer.
Dogs of beat. You know about me? Yeah, I'm back. You know, yeah, I'm lead for the beat. You know about me? Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I'm lead. Yeah, I'm lead for.
Gain up. So that. Warp. Place that where it needs to be.
Dogs of beat. You don't know about me? Yeah, I'm back. Yeah.
I think that's coming out pretty good.
Well. You'll get a punch in the nose like that. You'll get a big nose bleed like that. You'll get a chip on the floor like that. And your face bust the curb like that. Now fling you in the road like that. You'll get elbows like well.
and drop my new style like that might be one night. I wonder if I could do that. No telling who's gonna start. No telling who's.
So this goes up to 1.
No telling who's gonna. No telling who's gonna start trying drop my new style like me for the beat. Top brand loves with me. You don't know about me. Yeah, I'm you know. Yeah, I'm me for the beat. Top brand dogs with me. You don't know about me. Yeah, I'm
Swag, facing, same way that made up Daisy. Same way getting hate from my waist, man. Same way make a bitch go crazy. To the rise and savior. Like now just a bit more paper. Think 10 bags at a hater. So near not man to me.
I'm me for the beat. Top brand dogs with me. You don't know about me.
Lots of doing
Yeah,
this.
I'm give me the mic, it's for the. Give me the mic, it's original life.
I'm old school. I'm from the manor. I up here every rave. Bitch, I'm MC Shepard.
Oh no. Don't do this to me. I bet you I do. Oh well. I'll have to fix that. It's not a big deal. Bet you I do that a lot.
Me for the beat. Top brand dogs with me. You don't know about me. Yeah, I'm me for. You don't know about.
Yep, I do it every other one. Not a big deal. I'm just gonna copy this when I finish. And listen. Copy, copy, copy.
You don't know about. Money won't pay. Pay for the hood. Go get money. Go get money. Swimming. I'm just saying boat, but I'm winning. I'm winning.
Well.
Serious. You get a punch in the.
Yeah.
You get. No telling who's. No telling who's. You don't know. Yeah, I'm me. You don't know about me. You don't know about. You don't know. I can bring vision alive.
I'm old school. I'm from the manor. I up here every rave. Bitch, I'm MC Shepard. But I wasn't an original thing. The leaf of the middle place, 16. I'm selfish, criminals, all of that. I'm from the manor. I up here every rave. Bitch, I'm MC Shepard. There's all that cheese. Fuck that, I'm gonna give a grinding. The whole hood never like, am I writing? Cause I'm hood like
I'm lead for the beat. Top brand dogs with me. Lead for the beat. Top brand dogs with me. You don't know about me. You don't know about me. You don't know. Lead for the beat. I'm lead. You don't know about me.
Okay, so that should be fine. Let me rename this. Okay, so now I guess it's just the drums, which I'm gonna add, and then it's gonna be the vocals. So nothing too spectacular. I'm probably gonna add some stuff in to make it sound a little nicer. How far am I? Probably really far. 30 minutes. That's fine. That's fine. So let's look for samples. All the good ones are in like the Lex Luger samples. So let me look for kicks.
Lead for the beat. Top brand dogs with me.
I kind of like this one, so I'm gonna take this.
Lead for the beat.
I'm gonna not do that. I am gonna play with the fades, so this is something you should do if you use audio like me. Fades are the best part. Maybe I should try to find some higher end to this. This one's really nice too. I really like this kick. So again, I'm gonna play with the fades. So I am essentially just crafting my own kick from a couple other kicks using the fades, and I'm gonna throw a couple EQs on there. And for this one, I'm gonna take out all that low end. I'm actually gonna use a 4. Bump up that. I'm gonna take out all that. And I'm gonna throw a gate on this, and that's just gonna cut off all the sound after the attack. So I'm playing with the release. The attack's going to be all the way down, so it's going to be activated right away. The threshold of the gate is the volume at which the gate will start working. So you can see the little graph as I press play. It goes up, and that's the audio going up, and then back down, and that's the audio going down. So after, when that white line goes above that top line, that means you're going to hear it. But anything under this return one, I think, is not going to be heard. Now, I'm almost positive that anything above the threshold line, you'll be able to hear. Anything under it, you won't be able to hear. And the return is, it says over here, is whatever, but whatever. So the floor, yep, that could stay whatever. I'm putting the release down so that I get a tighter low end, and I'm putting the attack down so that it hits right away. Now I'm gonna do the same thing for this. So I'm gonna EQ it, which it sounds good. Gonna boost those high ends a bit, and also cut it right there. And you can hear we get a better sound out of them, so I'm gonna Control G on this. I'm gonna call this kick, and I'm gonna listen to it in a loop. It's probably gonna get annoying very quickly, but that's fine. I'm gonna take this off. Now we could hear So I'm just playing with it until I get something nice, and then I'm going to mix it real quick. That sounds good. I'm going to throw a compressor, RMS. Just doing a little bit of heavy compression. That's just going to tighten up the sound a little bit. I can also throw a limiter on last. I'm going to throw an EQ. Really trying to shape my sound. can throw a saturator on. And you can hear it kind of gives it that nice kicky sound. Beautiful. So now I'm going to throw a limiter on. Also going to throw maybe another compressor. Actually, we have the gain right here. I am going to throw a gate on again. This is for the entire sample. So I think that sounds good. So now what we could do is, since we have this in a group, we can resample it. So if you don't have this panel right here, you just press this I/O, and we're just going to take in from kick. We're going to hit the record button, and then we're going to press this button. Make sure our loop is all right here, and then I'm just going to click record. And there we go. So now we can bring this back, make sure the fades are correct before we consolidate it. Right there, so we crop, consolidate, press Control R, kick, and there we go. Now we can delete that, and all our work is in this one sample. You don't need to delete the group. Maybe you want to make changes to it later. I'm just doing it for the convenience. So that's a quick layering tutorial, I guess. But anyway, we're gonna go into remaking the beats.
For the beat, top brand dogs of beat. Top brand dogs of beat. Beat. You don't know about me. You don't know about me. Yeah, I'm you know. Yeah, I'm lead for the beat. Top brand dogs of beat. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm yeah. Then cruise to the rhythm. On the road, top brand dogs, I'm making them acting on your own face to the rhythm. Forward, below. That's what I'm thinking on your mics and you quick for the hood, chilling. Oh, like a quick racing women. Trying to get a bill game money, swimming. I'm just same boat on the rhythm. I'm winning.
Well. You'll get a punch in the nose like blam. You'll get a big nose bleed like blam. You'll get a chip on the floor like blam. And your face bust the curb like blam. Now fling you in the road like blam. You'll get elbows roll like well.
Might be one night. Would-do-do-do-da-da-da-da. I wonder if I could do that. No telling who's gonna start charting, drop my new style like would-do-do-do-da-da-da-da. Might be one night. Would-do-do-do-da-da-da-da. I wonder if I could do that. No telling who's gonna start charting, drop my new style like would-do-do-do-da-da-da. I'm lead for the beat. The top brand dogs of beat. If you don't know about me, I'm lead for the beat. If you don't know about me,
Swag,
if you don't know about me,
swag, facing. Same way that made looks daisy. Same way getting hate from my waist, man. Same way make a bitch go crazy. Still the vibes and savior. Blacking out just a bit more paper.
lead for the beat. Give me the mic, it's freedom, it's mine. I'ma skip like.
Okay, so this is pretty simple.
I'm old school. I'm from the manor. In the whole hood, never like am I writing? Cause I'm hood like little Red Riding. What big balls you have? Murder, but nigga, no pen. If you this can't make your skin burn.
Lead for the beat. The top brand dogs of beat. You don't know.
Okay, so you can see me writing notes up here. I'm just right clicking on the timeline and doing an add locator. And that's just so I could have, again, so I could have notes so I know what's going on and what to do next, and just like little reminders of what to do. So anyway, that's simple. Now the snare is going to be the easy part. I'm almost positive it's just going to be on every third or something simple like that. So let's just find out our clap snare stuff.
Know about me.
I guess I'll change this out for a clap.
Beat for the beat.
I actually want to layer my own clap and snare.
Beat for the beat.
So let's just remember to do our fades, and I guarantee I didn't do it. Oh my god, thank you so much, I did. Oh, so good. Feels good. So good. So let's just...
Beat for the beat. Top brand dogs with beat.
So... let's rename this clap. Control T, snare, Control T, roll snare, because I'm gonna change it up a bit. Stupid. No. Gonna have a kind of long snare for my layered snare. And there we go. So now I think I just duplicate this 1.5 million times. And I should be good. Can't even just hold it. I have to press it.
In the whole hood, never like him, I'm writing, cause I'm a hood like little red right.
Well, one night, I wonder if I could do that. No telling who's gonna start charting, drop my new style like that. I wonder if I could do that. No style like beat for the beat. Top brand dogs with beat. You don't know about me?
Yeah, it was as easy as that. So this should be pretty much 90% done. I have to do the vocals, which is going to be a big pain.
It's Lee for the Best Records. Yeah! It's Lee for the Best Records. Grind! Grind! 2011! Grind! 2011! Pa! 2011!
So this is going to be quite exciting to watch, I'm sure. The vocals is going to be the most difficult part of this, but you guys should definitely learn something from this. I'm going to name this verse 1, verse 2, intro, D, chorus. And the reason I'm breaking this up is so it makes it easier to warp, for one. It's less daunting. It's just going to be way simpler when you break it down into sections like this. Just because you won't have to deal with the entire thing all at once. It's just it makes sense to break production down into something that's easier for you to accomplish. So I'm gonna group this as vocals. I'm gonna collapse all these. I'm gonna rename these ones as instrumental. Control G, drums, collapse that. Okay, and I'm just very picky with the way that I organize everything. It makes it look nicer. It makes it easier to read, like it's more readable, I guess you could say. Anyway, let's get going. I'm gonna turn all of these off except for this one.
2011!
I'm gonna call that the chorus, so let me do this.
2011!
And I'm gonna put my metronome on, so it's gonna get very annoying very quickly.
2011!
I'm gonna bring all of this over.
2011!
pull this over one more.
2011.
And let's bring that. Control E. Quick way to break stuff. I'm gonna have that. Okay, so the reason I'm doing this is just so it doesn't get all cluttered up when I do the chorus, which I'm doing right now. And it makes it so that it's not overlapping, which is really nice. So, okay, so let's undo that. I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna do the fade. I'm gonna fade it in.
I'm leaf for the B. 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 I'm leaf for the B.
So I could actually say screw it to having that I'm
leaf for the B. I'm leaf for the B. I'm leaf for the B. I'm leaf for the B. I'm leaf for the B. I'm gonna top grand dogs with me. If you don't know about me, I'm leaf for the B. I'm gonna top grand dogs with me. If you don't know about me, then who's in the rhythm?
Okay, so I'm gonna call that the verse when I get up there.
I'm leaf for
And just to make it easier, I'm gonna keep that right there. Maybe I'll be able to take it out. I'm not sure.
I'm leaf for the B.
And I might just do something different with this. I'm not sure yet, so don't quote me on it. Oh man, that would be so good if I can do it, but I'm not gonna say anything right now about what I'm thinking. So I'm gonna overlap these right here. Not really overlap, but just bring it over. I guess a little bit of an overlap, nothing too extreme. Just so I can fade that in. Okay, so this is gonna be a long one.
Who's in the rhythm? Only real top grand dogs, I'ma get him. Acting, only one flames in the rhythm. Forward, reload, that's what I'm digging. And you might see me creep for the hood. Chilling, rolling like a crip pretty ting. Women, trying to get a bill, getting money. Swimming, I'm Usain Bolt on the rhythm. I'm winning.
Well. Serious. You get a punch in the nose like blah.
Okay, so this is where I fucked up. In the last one I was really warp happy, but I'm gonna do the same thing here.
Women, trying to get a bill, getting money.
Well.
I'm winning.
Well.
Because I really like how I changed it. If you hear the original of this song, you're gonna think it's so weird if you haven't heard it before this. So
A big nose bleed like blam. You'll get a chip on the floor like blam. Make the face cost the curb like blam. Now fling you in. A big nose bleed like.
Who's in the rhythm? Only real top grand dogs, I'ma get him. Acting, only one flames in the rhythm. Forward, reload, that's what I'm digging. And you might see me creep for the hood. Chilling, rolling like a crip pretty ting. Women, trying to get a bill, getting money. Swimming, I'm Usain Bolt on the rhythm. I'm winning.
Well.
so I gotta cut that up.
Rhythm, I'm winning.
Well.
Rhythm, I'm winning.
Well.
On the rhythm, I'm winning.
Well. Serious. You get a punch in the nose like. Well. Serious. You get a punch.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take you, bring you up here, take you.
Same boat on the rhythm, I'm winning.
Well. Serious. You get. Well. Serious. Well. Serious. Well. Serious. Well. Serious. You get a punch in the nose like blam. You get a big nose bleed like blam. You get a punch in the nose like blam. You get a big nose bleed like blam. You get a chip on the floor like blam. Bang your face cost the curb like blam. You get a punch in the nose like blam.
Okay, so this is gonna be the fun part.
You'll get a punch in the nose like blah.
One way we could tackle this is by setting 1-1 here, and that's just going to make our grids equally aligned, so the 26 is actually going to be like the 1, and since we set 1-1 here, it's going to make it easier reading here and associating it with up here. Kind of really confusing, but once you do it, it makes a lot more sense.
You'll get a punch in the nose like blah.
So I always want the blam on the 4.
You'll get a punch in the nose like blah. You'll get a big nose bleed like blah. You'll get a chip on the floor like blah. Can't get face cost the.
Okay, so let's try to get this part on the 4.
You'll get a punch in the nose like blah. You'll get a big nose bleed like blah. You'll get a chip on the floor like blah. Can't get face cost the curb like blah. Now fling you in the road like blah. You'll get.
Okay, so this is actually coming out good.
Like blam, now fling you in the road like blam. You'll get elbow drop like well.
Might be one night. I wonder if I could do that.
Okay, I fucked that up. Shit. So,
Might be one night.
really gotta listen to the original and see how I did it.
Might be one night.
Like well.
Might be one night.
Okay, fuck.
Might be one night.
So, right there when he says like one night or whatever the fuck he says.
One night. One night. One night.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab that and I'm gonna bring all this over.
One night. I wonder if I could. One night. I wonder if I could do that. No telling who's gonna start charting, drop my new style like might be one night. I wonder if I could do that. No telling who's gonna start charting, drop my new style like I'm lead for the beat.
Okay, so
One night. Charting, drop my new style like
okay, so anyway, we could totally take this shiz over here, copy a million times, paste it over here, and what do we get?
Charting, drop my new style like I'm lead for the beat. Charting, drop my new style like
And we're gonna cut this up.
You'll get a punch.
No telling who's gonna start charting, drop my new style like wonder if I could do that.
You'll get a punch.
And I'm actually gonna cut this up.
One night. One night. I wonder if I could do that.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna cut that, put it up. And this probably seems so foreign to you guys, but it's really simple. Just play around with the warping and you'll understand it, I'm sure. If you need a tutorial, then just tell me, and I will do my best to give you a good tutorial on how to warp.
Drop my new style like I'm lead for the beat. I'm lead for the beat. I'm lead for the beat. Drop my new style like I'm lead for the beat. The top brand dance with me. If you don't know about me, the top brand.
I could take this one. Hey! And this one's gonna actually sound a little better, because it's the full thing. That's fun.
I'm lead for the beat. I'm lead for the beat.
So if you guys are wondering where I got this acapella, I got it from a remix competition.
Pound to the top. Pound to the top. Pound to the top.
That might not actually be better because I have that vocal over it. Okay. I'm lead for the beat. I'm lead for the beat. The top brand dance with me. Gonna start charting, drop my new style like I'm lead for the beat. The top brand dance with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm, you know, yeah, I'm lead for the beat. The top brand dance with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm, yeah. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm, yeah. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm, Okay, so just cutting this up.
Yeah, I'm lead for the beat. I got the top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm.
And I'm gonna place this as close as I can to where that one is, which is somewhere around here. Control E, delete. Perfect.
I'm lead for the beat. I got the top round dogs with me.
Yeah. Swag blazing.
Oh, that's really slow.
Swag blazing.
I didn't even know people said swag back then. In 2011. Forgot about that.
Swag blazing. Same way that made Upsy Daisy. Same way getting hate from my waist, man. Same way make a bitch blazing. Same way that made Upsy Daisy. Same way getting hate from my waist, man. Same way make a bitch go crazy. To the grime scene savior. Back now just a bit more paper. Flick 10 bags that I hate hater. To the grime scene savior.
Okay.
Swag blazing. Same way that made Upsy Daisy. Same way getting hate from my waist, man. Same way make a bitch go crazy. To the grime scene savior. Back now just a bit more paper. Flick 10 bags that I hate Sony or not man's made.
I go harder, my team's moving larger. I'm gonna make bars with your whole fam, make your mom skank out with your father. My team's
Dogs with me. If you don't know about me,
Hey, it took that entire part out.
Sony or not man's made.
I'm lead for the beat. I'm lead for the beat.
Sony or not man's made.
I'm lead for the.
That's probably why I didn't win that contest.
Sony or not man's made.
Copy, 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 copy. Paste, paste, paste.
Sony or not man's made.
I'm lead for the beat. I got the top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm. You know, yeah, I'm lead for the beat. I got the top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, I'm lead for. I'm lead for the. I'm
Swag blaze made.
lead for. I'm lead for.
Swag blaze. Sony or not man's made. Sony or not man's made.
I'm lead.
Swag blazing. Same way that made Upsy.
I'm lead for the beat. I got the top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm. You know, yeah, I'm lead for the beat. I got the top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm.
give me the mic, this rhythm is mine. I'ma skip like I got skipper inside of it.
Know about me, yeah, I'm. Know about me, yeah, I'm.
That's where I really screwed up the warping on the original.
If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm.
Control T, verse 3. Bring this down. Bring it over like this.
Know about me,
Grammar originator, real life educator, next to a meditator.
yeah, I'm lead for the beat. I got the top round dogs with me.
This is a long song.
Give me the mic, this rhythm is mine. I'ma skip like I got skipper inside of it. Alive, why I deliver the hype. Better than every one of you sweats combined. Yeah, the best of all living alive. Yeah, I'll be the best in Britain alive. Yeah, if it's a game, then give me the prize. Yes, I can bring a vision alive. I'm old school.
Okay, this is gonna be more fun. I keep saying that, but it really is. It's kind of difficult.
Give me the mic, this rhythm is mine. I'ma skip like I got skipper inside of it. Alive, why I deliver the hype. Better than every one of you sweats combined. Yeah, the best of all living alive. Yeah, I'll be the best in Britain alive. Yeah, if it's a game, then give me the prize. Yes, I can bring a vision alive. Give me the prize. Yes, I can bring a vision alive. Yes, I can bring a vision alive. I'm old school. I'm from the. Give me the mic, this rhythm is mine. I'ma skip like I got skipper inside of it. Alive, why I deliver the hype. Better than every one of you sweats combined. Yeah, the best of all living alive. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just listening to both. I know it kind of sounds hectic, but I'm actually listening and trying to figure out how I could do this.
Give me the mic, this rhythm is mine. I'ma skip like I got skipper inside of it. Alive, why I deliver the hype. Better than every one of you sweats combined. Yeah, the best of all living alive. Yeah, I'll be the best in Britain alive. Yeah, if it's a game, then
I'm old school.
I think I have to do something like this.
Give me the mic, this rhythm is mine. I'm a skip. Give me the mic, this rhythm is mine. I'm a Give me the mic, this rhythm is mine. I'm a skip like I got skipper and got skip. Give me the mic, this rhythm. Give me the mic, this rhythm is mine. I'm a skip like I got skipper inside. It's a lie. Why I give me the mic, this rhythm is mine. I'm a skip like I got skipper inside. It's a lie. Why I deliver the hype better than every one of you spitters combined. Yeah, this is the rule living alive. Yeah, I'll be the best in Britain alive. Yeah, if it's a game, then give me the prize. Yeah, I can bring a vision alive. I'm from the manor. I'd up here every rave, bitch. Give me the mic, this rhythm is mine. I'm a skip like I got skipper inside. I mix a lot. Why I deliver the hype better than every one of you spitters combined. Yeah, this is the rule living alive. Yeah, I'll be the best in Britain alive. Yeah, if it's a game, then give me the prize. Yeah, I can bring a vision.
So
Better than ever be. Give me the mic, this rhythm is mine. I'm a skip like I got.
let's Control T, and I'm gonna take this last word, gonna bring it where it was, gonna do this, fade into it so it's not so sudden, fade out of that one so it doesn't get too loud.
Prize. I'm old. I'm old.
And what I'm gonna do is add a delay to this while I am still thinking of it. It's gonna be an even one, so
I'm old school. Then give me the prize. I'm old school. I'm from the manor. I'd up here every rave. I'm old school. I'm old school. I'm from the manor. I'd up here every rave. I'm old. I'm old school. I'm old school. I'm from. I'm old. I'm old school. I'm from the. I'm old school. I'm old school. I'm from the manor. I'd up here every rave. Bitch, I'm MC Shabba. But I wasn't an original thing, so they said, please give me some sleeves. I'm selfish, criminals, all of that.
that sounds ridiculous.
I'm old school. I'm from the manor. I'd up here every rave. Bitch, I'm MC Shabba. But I wasn't an original thing, so they said, please give me some sleeves. I'm selfish, criminal. Yeah, man, it's all that shit. And I don't need the wine, but I'm lying. Fuck that, I can't give a fright. That whole hood, they be like, am I right? Cause I'm a hood like little red riding. Oh, what big balls you have? But if this KK, your skin burning. Yeah, I'm leave for the beat. I'm old school. I'm from the manor. I'd up here every rave. Bitch, I'm MC Shabba. But I wasn't an original thing, so leave for the beat. Please give me 16. I'm selfish, criminals, all about me. Yeah, I'm on the money, man, it's all about cheese. It's all about cheese. And I don't mean but wine when I'm lying. Fuck that, I couldn't give a flying in. The whole hood, they be like, am I riding? Cause I'm a hood like little red riding. Oh, what big balls you have? Murder, a nigga, no. Fuck that, I couldn't give a flying in. The whole. Fuck that. I don't mean but wine when I'm lying. Fuck that, I couldn't give a flying in. The whole hood, they be like, am I riding? Cause I'm a hood, little red riding. Oh, murder, when I'm lying. Fuck that, I couldn't give a flying in. The belly in, cause I'm a hood like little red riding. Oh, then riding. Oh, what big murder, but nigga, no pen. If you this can't pay your skin burning,
Okay, so this is sounding pretty good.
The whole hood, they be like, am I writing? Cause I'm a hood like little red riding. Oh, what big balls you have? Murder, but nigga, no pen. If you this can't pay your skin burning,
Ah, shit.
I'm old school. I'm from the manor. I'd up here every rave. Bitch, I'm MC Shabba. But I wasn't an original thing. So leave for the middle, please give me 16. I'm selfish, criminals, all about me. Yeah, I'm on the money, man, it's all about cheese. And I don't all about cheese. And I don't mean but wine. I'm old school. I'm from the manor. I'd up here every rave. Bitch, I'm MC Shabba. But I wasn't an original thing. So leave for the middle, selfish. I'm old school. I'm from the manor. I'd up here every rave. Bitch, I'm MC.
Oh, that sounded pretty good right there, but now I have to warp it around that section.
I'm from the manor, I've appeared every rave.
So I'm gonna set this as my current start point by right-clicking and setting 1
Yeah,
1.
I'm old school. I'm from the manor,
So I gotta delete that snare as well.
old school. I'm from the manor, I've appeared every rave. Bitch, I'm MC Shabba, but I wasn't an original. Yeah, I'm old school. I'm from the manor, I've appeared every rave.
Okay, so right there is perfect. Where does he say, like, race or something? It's probably right here. I'm gonna bring that over.
Yeah, I'm old school. I'm from the manor, I've appeared every rave. Bitch, I'm MC Shabba. Every rave, bitch, I'm every rave. Bitch, I'm MC Shabba, but I wasn't an original thing. So leave for the middle, please give me 16. I'm so selfish, criminals all about me. Yeah, I'm on the money, man, it's all about cheese. And I don't mean but wine when I'm lying. Fuck that, I couldn't give a flying in the whole hood. Never be like, am I writing? Cause I'm a hood.
Okay.
I'm old school. I'm from the manor, I've appeared every rave. Bitch, I'm MC Shabba, but I wasn't an original thing. So leave for the middle, please give me 16.
Okay, so I think I have to cut this.
I was on an original Shabba, but I was on an original thing. So leave for the MC, yeah, I'm old school. I'm from the manor, I've appeared every rave. Bitch, I'm MC Shabba, but I was on an original.
Right there. I'm gonna have to cut this and drag it over.
But I was on an original thing, so leave for the middle play Shabba. But I was.
Okay, so
Bitch, I'm MC Shabba. I'm MC Shabba, but I was on an original thing, so leave for the middle, please give it 16. I'm selfish, criminals all about me. Yeah, I'm on the money, man, it's all about cheese. And I don't mean but wine when I'm lying. Fuck that, I couldn't give a flying in the whole hood. They be like, am I writing? Cause
so if you're wondering how I figured that out, it's not, I wouldn't say it's easy, but I've been doing it for such a long time, and I sing, so I kind of know like where to put stuff when it comes to vocals. If you sing it out, it becomes a lot easier. You don't hear me singing because I don't want to embarrass myself by not knowing the lyrics or by singing. But you really do. You really want to sing it out and try to get with the tempo of the metronome and stuff. That's the easiest way I can explain it. So I guess I'm going to get back into it.
I've appeared every rave. Bitch, I'm MC Shabba, but I was on an original thing, so leave for the middle, please give it 16. I'm selfish, criminals all about me. Yeah, I'm on an original thing.
Gonna set 1 1 here.
Leave for the middle, please give us a leaf.
I want to set 1 1 here, but I don't want to move everything back.
An original thing, so Shabba, but I was on an original thing, so leave for the middle.
Also gonna fade this back this way.
But I was on an original thing, so leave for the middle, please give it 16. I'm selfish, criminals all about me. Yeah, I'm on the money, man, it's all about cheese. And I don't mean but wine when I'm lying. Fuck that, I couldn't give a flying in the whole hood. They be like, am I writing? Cause I'm a hood blind little red riding. Oh, what big balls you have? Murder, man, nigga, no pen. If you this K.A. your skin burn, please give it 16. I'm selfish, criminals all about me. Yeah, I'm on the money, man, it's all about cheese. And I don't mean but wine when I'm lying. Fuck that, I couldn't give a flying in the whole hood. They be like, am I writing?
Gotta fix all that, man.
I was on an original thing, so leave for the middle, please give it 16. I'm selfish, criminals all about me. Yeah, I'm on the money, man, it's all about cheese. And I don't mean but wine when I'm lying. Money, man, it's
It ends right here is where it stops being good.
money, man, it's all about cheese. And I don't mean but wine when I'm
Right when he says this part. Again, if you're wondering how I know, it's because I'm singing it in my mind of how I want it to go.
in the middle, please give it 16. I'm selfish, criminals all about me. Yeah, I'm on the money, man, it's all about cheese. And I don't mean but wine.
It's like his little pauses like that. Not necessary.
Cheese, and I don't mean but wine when I'm lying. Fuck that, I couldn't give a flying in the whole hood. They be like, am I writing? Cause I'm a hood blind little red riding. Oh, what big balls you have? Murder, man, nigga, no pen. If you this K.A. your skin burn,
Gotta listen to it again.
Yeah, I'm old school. I'm from the manor, I've appeared every rave. Bitch, I'm MC Shabba, but I was on an original thing, so leave for the middle, please give it 16. I'm selfish, criminals all about me. Yeah, I'm on the money, man, it's all about cheese.
And I don't mean but wine when I'm nine. Fuck that, I couldn't give a flying in the.
Let me take these off.
And I don't mean but wine when I'm nine. Fuck. And I don't mean but wine when I'm nine. Fuck.
So this is the reason we set the 1-1. Say I'm trying to get it on the 5, or sorry, on the 80, but I can't do it because my 1-1's not set. So I really have to.
And I don't mean but wine when I'm nine. Fuck that. And I don't mean but wine when I'm. And I don't mean but wine when I'm nine. Fuck that. I couldn't. It's all about cheese. And I don't mean but wine when I'm nine.
So I'm gonna set that point, that one thing that I want, which I think is right here. Set this as my 1-1, and I'm gonna show you a little trick. We can put that to where we want it to go, and then drag this over, and bada bing, bada boom. Ah! We have it exactly where we want it, and we can also get rid of that by simply doing this. Oi. Not like that, like this, and boom.
All about cheese, and I don't mean but wine when I'm nine. Fuck that, I couldn't give a flying in the whole hood never like am I writing, cause I'm hood like Little Red Riding. Oh, what big balls you have? Murder, but nigga, no pen. If you this K.A. your skin burn him.
And again, we're gonna do Control T.
Hey, your skin burn him. Burn him. Burn him.
And I'm gonna do the same delay.
Hey, your skin burn him. If you this K.A. your skin burn him.
For the beat, top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm, you know, yeah, I'm lead for the beat. I got the top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah,
I don't think.
I'm lead for the beat. I got the top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm, you know, yeah, I'm lead for the beat. I got the top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm lead. Know about me, yeah, I'm, yo, they're like.
Okay, so I should be able to do the same thing. Damn it.
I'm lead for the beat. I got the top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm, you know, yeah, I'm lead for the beat. I got the top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm, yeah. I'm lead for the, yeah, I'm lead for the beat. I got the top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm, you know, yeah, I'm lead for the beat. I got the top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm lead for the beat. I got the top round dogs with me. Yeah,
Okay, so I'm gonna name these correctly. I'm gonna name this M and M's. Delay. What delay was this one? Yes. Delay. And I'm gonna give my track color. I'm gonna color code all these. I love color coding stuff. Again, makes it really neat. Easy to see what's what. And I don't know, I just like it. Oops, that's not the right one. It's not, no, I guess what? I guess it was the right one. No. E. Maybe I should just do this red. Actually read it. And the drums are going to be a nice green. Right click. Green. And now I'm gonna save it for the first time. Maybe I should just call this old songs, old projects. Lethal Bizzle POW 2011. Materi. Wow. I was spelling remix. I was thinking remix and spelling Materi. Okay, so that's pretty good. I'm probably like an hour in or something. Yeah. Let's just continue going.
For the B, under the top round dance with me. One night, would-do-do-do-da-da-da-da. I wonder if I could do da-da-da-da-da. No telling who's gonna start charting, drop my new style like would-do-do-do-da-da-da-da. Might be one night, would-do-do-do-da-da-da-da. I wonder if I could do da-da-da-da-da. No telling who's gonna start charting, drop my new style like would-do-do-do-da-da-da-da. For the B, under the top round.
This already sounds so much better. Let's not use Massive. I really love Massive, but let's try Operator for our 808. Operator is really easy.
One night, would-do-do-do-da-da-da-da. I wonder if I could do da-da-da-da-da. No telling who's gonna start charting, drop my new style like would-do-do-do-da-da-da-da. Might be one night.
So this is just a simple 2-bar loop.
One night, would-do-do-do. One night, one night, would-do-do-do. One night, would-do-do-do. One night, would-do-do-do. One night, one night, would-do-do-do-da-da-da-da. One night, would-do-do-do. One night, would-do-do-do. One night, would-do-do-do-da-da-da-da. I wonder if I could do da-da-da-da-da. No telling who's gonna start charting, drop my new style like would-do-do-do-da-da-da-da. Might be one night, would-do-do-do-da-da-da-da. I wonder if I could do da-da-da-da-da. No telling who's gonna start charting, drop my new style like would-do-do-do-da-da-da-da. For the B, under the top round dance with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm you know, yeah, I'm for the B. One night, would-do-do-do-da-da-da-da. I wonder if I could do that.
So yeah, our 808 is going to be Operator. So I'm going to loop this. And just bring these down. And if you don't know how to make an 808, it's very, very simple. You take a sine wave, or, I mean, you could do any wave, but sine wave, triangle wave. We'll get into that eventually. Let's just say a sine wave. You take a sine wave, you put it way, way low, and then you just pitch. You do like a pitch up and then down. You'll see, it's really, really simple. Let's actually just turn the release up on this. Then the pitch envelope. And we're gonna put the pitch envelope at 100%. You can already hear the kick. Let's put our peak all the way. To 36. And the decay. And we're also, that sounds good. Now if you want to add some grit to this, we can what we're actually going to do is take our sine wave and let's try setting that back to 0. Let's try a triangle wave. So yeah, it's very, very simple to make a 808 kick. What we are going to do is we're going to take all this. We should be able to copy. Okay, so let's click on our B oscillator, right click on here and copy from A. How about just trying to get a little bit of grittiness to the attack. Just gonna bring that up, and this is to compensate for how high the noise sounds. Perfect. So with and without the noise. Pretty awesome sounding, in my opinion. We could even put the res up if we want. Beautiful. So now we're going to go into audio effects. Let's throw a utility on this and bring this all the way down on the width. And also, before that, we're going to throw an EQ8 on it. So I'm just taking off the mids, just because it doesn't really need all that mids, but I don't want to turn down the volume over here. Just don't want to play with it. Since it already sounds pretty good, I'm just going to take it out on the EQ, some of that mids area. And that's also going to free up some of the vocal space, because vocals are usually around the 1K area. That's that. So let's play around and copy this and paste it where the other 808 part is. Nothing too fancy.
One night, I wonder if I could do that. No telling who's gonna start charting, drop my new style like one night, I wonder if I could do that. No telling.
Also, let's throw a compressor on here.
One night, I wonder if I could do that. No telling who's gonna start charting, drop my new style like might be one night, I wonder if I could do that. No telling who's gonna start charting, drop my new style like one night, I wonder if I could do that. No telling who's gonna start charting, drop my new style like might be one night, I wonder if I could do that.
Okay, so I just threw the compressor on. I'm gonna change that to RMS.
I wonder if I could do that. No telling who's gonna start charting, drop my new style like
Sweet deal. That sounds pretty good, in my opinion.
Drag your face across the curb like blam. Now fling you in the road like blam. You get elbow drop like well.
I wonder if I could do that. No telling who's gonna start charting, drop my new style like might be one night. I wonder if I could do that. No telling who's gonna start charting, drop my new style like
Lead for the beat, the top round dance with me. If you don't know about me.
So just saving again, and maybe we can move on to mixing. I didn't do my idea, but that's fine. I'm gonna actually save this. I might make a remix of this, of my remix. Maybe not. Anyway, let's continue on. Let's worry about the effects. Oh, we didn't do that part either. So I'm gonna add this in. It's just a little click. I just need something.
Lead for the beat, the top round dance with me. If you don't know about me. Lead for the beat, the top.
for the B. I'm gonna top for the B. I'm gonna top round dance with me for the B. I'm gonna top round dance with me. Dance with me for the B. I'm gonna top round dance with me. For the B. I'm gonna top round dance with me. Me. I'm Lee for the B. I'm gonna top round dance with me.
Okay, so this is just gonna fill out some of the fill out the drums a bit, and no one's even gonna notice it really, but it should be nice to have it there, just to have it there. Oops, a daisy. Let's copy this. Copy, 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 copy. Paste, 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 paste. Copy, 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 copy. Paste, paste. Delete, delete, delete. Copy. Paste, paste, paste. That's only going to be in the chorus.
2011. Yo, they're like who's in the rhythm? Only real top grand dogs, I'ma get him. Acting, only one things in the rhythm. Forward, reload, that's what I'm digging. And you might see me creep for the hood, chilling. Go like a quick pretty thing. Women, one night, would you B for the B? I'm gonna top grand dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm, you know, yeah, I'm B for the B. I'm gonna top grand dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm, you know, yeah, I'm Lee for the B. I'm gonna top grand dogs.
Give me the prize. I'm old school. I'm from the manor. I got paid that
B for the B. I'm gonna top grand. Yeah, I'm.
That's pretty cool. I'm gonna call that click.
2011. I'm Lee for the B. I'm gonna top grand dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm, you know, yeah, I'm Lee for the B. I'm gonna top grand dogs with me. If you
That's gonna aggravate the shit out of me. This guy doesn't know how to record vocals, so it's all clicky. It's kind of annoying. I actually have Alloy. Oh my gosh. With Alloy, which is a plugin from Isotope, they have a de-esser, which should get rid of that problem.
I'm Lee for the B. I'm Lee for the B. I'm Lee for the B. I'm Lee for. Yeah, I'm Lee for the. Yeah, I'm Lee for. Yeah, I'm Lee for the B. I'm gonna top grand dogs with me. Yeah, I'm Lee for the B. I'm gonna top grand dogs with me. If you don't know about me.
well.
Serious.
You'll get a punch in the nose like blam. You'll get a big nose bleed like blam. You'll get a trip on the floor like blam. Drag your face across the curb like blam. Now fling you in the road like blam. You'll get elbow drop like well.
Serious.
Might be one like do da 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 da. I wonder if
I'm Lee for the B. I'm Lee for the B. I'm Lee. Yeah, I'm. Yeah, I'm Lee for the. I'm Lee for the. I'm Lee for the B. I'm Lee for the. Yeah, I'm Lee for the B. I'm Lee for the B. I'm Lee for the B. I'm gonna top grand dogs with me. If you don't know about me. for the beat. I'm leaf for the beat. I'm leaf for. I'm leaf for. I'm leaf. I'm leaf for the beat. I'm leaf for the beat. I'm leaf for the beat. I'm leaf for the. I'm leaf for the beat. I'm leaf for the. I'm leaf for the beat. I'm leaf for the. I'm leaf for the beat. I'm leaf for the beat. I'm leaf for the beat. I'm gonna top round dogs with me. If you don't.
Keep missing.
I'm leaf for the beat. I'm gonna top round dogs with me. Beat. Yeah, I'm pow. Give me the mic. Beat. Yeah. I'm leaf for the beat. I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm. Yeah, I'm pow. Give me the mic, this rhythm is mine. And I'ma skip like I got skipper inside. My lyrics alive. I'm leaf for the beat. I'm gonna top round dogs with me. Pow! Pow!
Okay.
2011. Yeah, I'm leaf for the beat. I'm gonna top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm, you know, yeah, I'm leaf for the beat. I'm gonna top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm, yo, that who's in the rhythm? On the road, top round dogs, I'ma get him. Acting only one things in the rhythm. Forward, reload, that's what I'm digging. And you might see me creep for the hood, chilling.
Okay, so I decided the de-esser is not that good for getting the the pops. So I'm using the transient inside of Alloy to which you can shape the transient. It's a transient shaper, which is absolutely amazing. So you could really take away the sounds. So if you think about it, the pop and a that's gonna sound horrible on the mic, but the pop and the is it's a very short attack and it's just sudden. So we want to soften that. So we're going to turn the attack down so that it's more of a p instead of a p. Really easy to understand. I'm sure everyone understands it just by me even mentioning it. So that's that, and that's how I'm going to get rid of the pop sounds, hopefully. Let's continue.
I'm leaf for the beat. I'm gonna top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm, you know, yeah, I'm leaf for the beat.
Actually gonna put it on the chorus as well.
I'm leaf for the beat. I'm gonna top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm, you know, yeah, I'm leaf for the beat. I'm gonna top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm leaf for the beat. I'm gonna top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm, you know, yeah, I'm leaf for the beat. I'm gonna top round dogs with me. If you don't.
Yeah, so the POW was giving me issues in this, so that's that. Now I'm going to EQ all the vocals as one, I think, since it's pretty easy. I could use Alloy, but just for the convenience of everyone watching, I'm just going to use Ableton.
I'm leaf for the beat. I'm gonna top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm, you know, yeah, I'm leaf for the beat. I'm gonna top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm.
Swag blazing, same way that made Oopsie Daisy. Same way getting hate from my waist, man. Same way make a bitch go crazy. Still the rhyme scene savior. Back now, just a bit more paper. Fling 10 bags at a hater. Sony, I'm not man's mate.
I'm leaf for the beat. I'm gonna top round dogs with me.
Okay, so let me explain what I just did. I boosted the highs very slightly. Boosting the highs on your vocals makes it sound more hi-fi, makes it sound like better quality, in my opinion, and it makes it fit a little bit better into the mix. I also cut the low end around the 100 hertz area. I still want some of the bass from the vocals, but there's not so much, so I'm gonna really cut it so it doesn't interfere too much with the 808 kick, for example, and the normal kick. Then I just slightly took around the 1K out, just very, very slightly, just because it's a little bit too much in the recording, in my opinion. So I turned it down a bit, and it just gave it a little bit more of a low end to it and a high end. Taking out the mids boosts the high and the lows. That's something I explained in one of my other videos. I boost the low end around 300 area, very close to 300, and that's just going to give it a little bit more low end, not like super low end, but like low end in a voice, so that it really pops out in the mix. Now what I'm going to do is throw a utilita on this, and I'm going to lower that up to 65.
Me for the B, I'm gonna top round dance with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm me for the B, I'm gonna top round dance with me. If you don't know about,
And I'm also gonna see what happens if I take the chorus one off.
me for the B, I'm gonna top round dance with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm me for the B, I'm gonna top round dance with me. If you don't know about me, yeah,
That's totally fine. I can deal with that. Anyway, now I guess I have to do all the hi-hats and filling up the track a little bit more. So I'm going to use crashes, and all that fun stuff. Let me throw in my crash. Oh, where the heck are my samples? Oh, there they are. It'll be easier to make my own. Okay, so let's try the loyalty one for crashes or something. I just want crashes. No way, there's not going to be anything in there. I do have the Vengeance Trap one, but I don't think there's anything in there. Symbols. Crash. They're too heavy. I could have sworn there was one in this one. Let's take another look. Okay, whatever, let's use this one. And first thing I'm going to do is unwarp it. And go to fades. Blump. Put that all the way down. Duplicate this. Call this one crash. L. Call this one crash. R. Bring this one 24. Negative 24. Then take this one. Do regular 24.
for the B, for the B, I'm gonna top round dance with me.
And let's do it on every 8.
Who's in the rhythm? Only real top round dogs, I'm a for the B, I'm gonna top round dance with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm me for the B, I'm gonna top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm they're like who's in the rhythm? Only real top round dogs, I'ma get him. Acting, only one flames in the rhythm. Forward, reload, that's what I'm digging. And you might see me creep for the hood, chilling. Going like a crip rating. Women, trying to get that bill, get money, swimming. I'm Usain Bolt on the rhythm, I'm winning.
Well. Serious. Well. Serious. Well. Serious. You'll get a punch in the nose like blam. You'll get a big nose bleed like blam. You'll get a drip on the floor like blam. Drag your face cost the
One night, I want
B for the B.
Swag blazing.
Yeah, so this is the easiest way to do it.
B for the B. Give me the mic, this rhythm is mine. I'ma skip like I got skipper inside.
I'm from the manor. I've got paid every like him.
B for the B. I'm gonna top round up.
that's good. It's going, getting there. Now let's add. We need another crash. That's definitely a ride, but okay. It's like a trappy ride, and I'm gonna add that in. And let's figure out where I want this to be.
Dance with me for the beat. Get the top round, dance with me.
And what I could do actually is have it on the offbeats.
Me for the beat. Get the top round, dance with
And I could have that something like that.
Yeah, I'm Lee for the beat. Get the top round, dance with me. You don't know about me? Yeah, you know. Yeah, I'm Lee for the beat. Get the top round, dance with me.
Unless it sounds better over here.
I wonder if I could do that. No telling who's gonna start charting, drop my new style like would do that. Everyone like would do that. I wonder if I could do that. No telling who's gonna start charting, drop my new style like would do that.
I'm Lee for the beat. Get the top round, dance with me.
Yeah, I think it sounds better on the 808 part. And let's get a big crash. Yeah, totally rock. And roll. I have some real samples of crashes right here, so let's see if there's anything good. I could actually use that. And I'm going to unwarp it, and I'm also going to reverse it. Reverse.
2011.
Also, I am going to warp it. Duplicate by 2, sorry, warp it by 2 times, I guess is the way to say it.
2011. Yeah, I'm Lee for the beat.
Yeah, okay, so that's fine. Now that's our reverse. Gonna crop that. Reverse.
2011. Yeah, I'm Lee for the beat. Get the top round.
One night would do that. I wonder if I could do that. No telling who's gonna start charting, drop my new style like would do that.
I'm Lee for the beat. Get the top round, dance with me. You don't know about me? Yeah.
To the grabs and save.
Lee for the beat.
To the grabs.
And I'm just gonna put this every time it goes into a chorus part. And right here too. Maybe if I do it.
One night would do. One night.
Drag your face across the curb like that. Now fling you in the road like that. You'll get elbows up like well.
One night would do that.
No, okay.
To the grabs and save ya. Back now, just a bit more paper. Fling 10 bags at a hater. Sony or not man's mate.
I'm Lee for the beat. Get the top round, dance with me. You don't know about me? Yeah, you know. Yeah, I'm Lee for the beat.
My computer's not yelling at me yet for recording so long. Anywho, let's color coordinate everything again. Right click, red. Oh, no, this one's green. Green. I do need hi-hats, and I'm actually going to use a MIDI track for that, and I'm going to drag Impulse in, and Impulse is amazing for getting hi-hat patterns down. And one thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to mix my drums after I do the hi-hats. And mixing the drums is like my favorite part. It's really fun, so let's go in and see how our original ones are.
Lee for the beat. Top round, dance with me. Lee for the beat. Losing the rhythm. On the real top round, dance, I'm making.
Oh well. Serious. You
I'm gonna write down where my hi-hat
Beat for the beat. Beat for the beat for the beat.
hi-hat.
Just a bit more paper. Think 10 bags at a hater. Sony, you're not man's favorite.
I'm lead for the beat. Top brand dogs to beat. You don't know about me.
I'ma skip like I got skipper inside of it's life.
I'm from the manor, I up here every race. Bitch, what big balls you have? Murder, man, I got no pen. If you
Okay, so that should be easy.
I'm lead for the beat. Top brand dogs to beat. You don't know about me. Yeah, I'm lead for the beat. Top brand dogs to beat. You don't know about me. Yeah,
Nope. Okay.
punch in the nose like blah, you'll get a big nose bleed like blah, you'll get a chip on the floor like
Maybe one night, would-do-do-do-da-da-da-da. I wonder if I could-do-do-do-da.
yeah, I'm back for the beat. Top brand.
Swag blazing, same way that made Oopsie Daisy. Same way getting hate to my waist, man. Same way make a bitch go.
And every one of you spits combined. Yeah, this is written alive. Yeah, this is written alive. Yeah, this is game, then give it a try. Yeah, I can bring a vision alive.
I'm old school, I'm from the manor, I up here every race. Bitch, I'm MC Shabba, but I was on an original thing. Believe for the middle, please give me 16. I'm selfish, grim knows all about me. Yeah, I'm on them, it's all about cheese. And I don't mean but mine when I'm dining. Fuck that, I really give a flying. The whole hood never like am I writing, cause I'm a hood
B, top brand dogs of B.
Okay, so that should work. I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm winning.
Well.
Serious.
You'll get a punch in the nose like
And they roll top brand dogs, I'ma get. And they roll top brand dogs, I'ma get them. Acting on us.
you'll get a punch in the nose like blah, you'll get a
I'm lead for the B. Top brand dogs of B. You don't know about me. Yeah, I'm back. You know. Yeah, I'm lead for the B. Top brand dogs of B.
Savior, blacking out just a bit.
Yeah, this is written alive.
Shabba, but I was on an original.
Okay, I guess that works. That should be fine. Now let's just get some hi-hats going. Hi-hat.
Who's in the rhythm? On the road, top brand dogs, I'ma get him. Acting on the wrong flames in the rhythm. Forward, reload, that's what I'm digging. And you might see me creep for the hood. Chilling, roll like a crip rating. Women, trying to get a bill, getting money. Swimming, I'm Usain Bolt on the rhythm. I'm winning.
Oh, I'm like dying to EQ this. But I will refrain.
Know about me? Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, they're like who's in the rhythm? On the road, top brand dogs, I'ma get him. Acting on the wrong flames in the rhythm. Forward, reload, that's what I'm digging. And you might see me creep for the hood. Chilling, roll like a crip rating. Women, trying to get a bill, getting money.
Okay. Let's go back to our samples. That was actually the ride I was referring to. Hats. Let's just drag a bunch in. That's gonna be a weird one. Overplace it. -12. And one thing we could do is we could either set the pan of each of these individually. So like that, or we can do something more random, which I prefer. And how to do that is we click on our sample and impulse and we put random, first of all, random velocity. We put that up to something like 75. put this back down to negative 15, negative 20, I guess. And then we can put this up to 100. I'll keep it at 75. And if you want random pan based on the random velocity, you can play with this one right here. I'm only going to put it to 30. So now I'm going to remember that, 175, 30. I'm just going to do that for all of them. 175, 30. 30. 175, 30. We can also play with the decay time of each sample, so we can get a tighter sound if we want. We can also play with the softness. If you want to get rid of the click. And I'm going to compensate by putting this volume up right here, not up here, for the soft sample. Good, good.
Who's in the rhythm? Only real top gram dogs, I'ma get him. Acting, only one flames in the rhythm. Forward, reload, that's what I'm digging on. You might see me creep for the.
And now I'm just going to create a loop. I'm going to create two of them. So the first one's going to be a slow one, then it's going to be a sped up one. So let's just play around randomly.
Who's in the rhythm? Who's in the rhythm? Only real top gram.
Zoom in so we could have some, like, and just play around, get something you like. Okay, so I'm just going to keep this as our loop. So I'm going to unloop loop. Nope, that doesn't work. Let's bring this down to the 3, to the 2, and there we go. We have our loop. Now I'm going to just do a little faster, a little more random. Play around with it. Weird. Too weird, too weird. So let's not do that. There it is. Fast hi-hat. And the reason I'm doing this, actually, if I do this, eight, 5. Ah, crap. Okay, so it's 285. 285. Then I could have a fast one without the randomness, and it will still sound good. So 843, 843, 703. What is that, 385 or something? I think. Yeah. And that's just so I could have the fasterness of them.
Who's in the rhythm? On the road, top gram dogs, I'ma get him. Acting, only one flames in the rhythm. Forward, reload, that's what I'm digging on. You might see me creep for the hood. Chilling, going like a crip rating. Women, trying to get a bill, getting money. Swimming, I'm Usain Bolt on the rhythm. I'm winning.
Well. Serious. You get a punch in the nose like black. Well. Serious. You get a punch in the nose. Well. Serious. You get a punch in the nose.
Who's in the rhythm? On the road, top gram. Who's in the rhythm? On the road, top gram dogs, I'ma get him. Acting, only one flames in the rhythm. Forward, reload, that's what I'm digging on. You might see me creep for the hood. Chilling, going like a crip rating. Women, trying to get a bill, getting money. Swimming, I'm Usain Bolt on the rhythm. I'm winning.
Well. Serious. You get a punch in the nose like black. You get a big nose bleed like black. You
One night, da-da-da-da-da-da. I wonder if I could do da-da-da-da-da. No telling who's gonna start charting.
Lead for the B, get the top gram dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm, you know, yeah, I'm lead for the B, get the top gram dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm, you know. Skip like I've got skipper inside, it's alive. Why I deliver the hype, better than every one of you sweats combined. Cause it's the rule living alive. I'll be the best in. Give me the mic, this rhythm is mine. And I'ma skip like I've got skipper inside, it's alive. Why I deliver the hype, better than every one of you sweats combined. Cause it's the rule living alive. I'll be the best in Britain alive. If it's a game, then give me the prize.
I'm old school, I'm from the manor, I done paid every rave. Bitch, I'm MC Shabba, I was on an original thing, so leave.
Rhythm is mine. Give me the mic, this rhythm is mine. And I'ma skip like I've got skipper inside, it's alive. Why I deliver the hype, better than.
I'm from the manor, I'm from the manor, I done paid every rave. Bitch, I'm MC Shabba, I was on an original manor, I done paid every rave. Bitch, I'm MC Shabba, I was wine when I'm lying. Fuck that, I couldn't give a flying in the whole hood never like am I writing, cause I'm hood lying or red riding. Oh, what big balls you have? Murder, but nigga no pen. If you this K.A. your skin burn.
Get the top gram dogs with me for the B. Get the top gram dogs with for the B, B, B for the B, get the top gram dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm skip like I got skipper inside. It's alive, why I deliver the hype. Give me the mic, this rhythm is mine. I'ma skip like I got skipper inside. It's alive, why I deliver the hype. Better than every one of you spitters combined. Get the best of all living alive. I'll be the best in Britain alive.
Well, serious. You'll get a punch. Well, serious. You'll get a punch in the nose like blam. You'll get a big nose bleed like blam. You'll get a chip on the floor like blam. Drag your face across the curb like blam. Now
I'm from the manor, I'd appeared every rave. Bitch, I'm MC Shabba. I was on an original thing, so leave for the middle. I'm from the manor, I'm from the manor.
well, serious. You'll get a punch in the nose like blam. You'll get a big nose bleed like blam. You'll get a chip on the floor like blam.
I'm from the manor, I'd appeared every rave. I'm from the manor, I'd appeared every rave.
Okay, so I know I haven't said anything in a while, but I'm like in the zone. So now I guess I'm gonna play around with EQing, and if anything comes up, I will deal with it. So I'm gonna be mixing and adding effects as I go. It's probably gonna go very fast, and I'm sorry if I don't explain myself that well. But again, you could leave me a comment. I know probably no one's watching this far. I'm at the 2-hour mark, which is pretty crazy. It's going to be a big file. I might have to break this down, but that's fine. Let's go into EQ right now. So here we go. I'm going to start with the drums because the drums are the easiest to mix and the easiest to explain. And like I said before, they are the most fun. Right now, I'm just lowering everything, all the volumes of everything. Excuse me. But I'm keeping the group tracks as 0. That's kind of important to know. And I don't have any effects on the master. Big thing. Okay, so let's get going with our mixing. I'm going to set a loop that has a lot of stuff going on in it. This should be fine if I loop this part. Let's start with the kicks. And I'm gonna mix my kick to 15 decibels, which you can see right here. And if you don't have this, drag this little bar up all the way and you'll have this. That's fine. Now I'm going to do the clap. One thing I'm going to do, which isn't going to affect anything, is I'm going to put a compressor on the master track. And I know I said don't put anything, but this is just going to act as a volume without having to move the volume up. So I'm going to put the ratio all the way down. Everything else doesn't matter. It could be at anything. You won't even notice any difference because of the ratio at 1. So this means for every decibel in, you'll get 1 decibel out. We're just using this as a gain, really. And we could just put the out up. And this is just so we don't have to blast our speakers. I'm just going to put that at 12 decibels. And that's good. That's very good. So we're not peaking when we boost it up to 12, which is very good. That's how we want to mix. That's perfect. So let's go into doing all this stuff again. Like I said, I'm going to do a return track. So if I press Control-Alt-T, I get a return track. And return tracks are good. I'm going to throw a reverb on it. Set everything to high quality. Cut the lows instead of the highs, cut the lows instead of the highs, and put the dry wet all the way up to 100. Put the size up in the stereo. You can put that pretty high up. And let's boost the decay time, the scale, and the density. We could turn the pre-delay down. This is just stuff that you find out from experimenting. I'm also going to put an EQ 8, and I'm going to do it from the 2, do a low pass filter at, let's say, 450. And now I'm going to send my clap through it. Okay, so let's play with this. Okay, so this one's going to be for a short reverb. So let's rename that, and let's do another one for a longer reverb. Just copy this, paste, and I'm also going to put the stereo up, and I'm also going to put the frequency up for our high pass. And that's because I only want like the high highs to be showing through for our longer reverb. So let's just make it a little easier for ourselves. This is fine. And the long reverb is only going to be for like the crashes and stuff, so okay, so that's fine. Now I'm mixing everything to sound correct with the kick. So I start with the kick, get that to where I want it to be, and then I start doing everything else on top of it. So I start like with the kick, snare, and then it just goes on from there. So let's continue. You guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so let's get EQing with the kick and stuff. Okay, so I just cut the a little bit of the mids off again, putting in another utility, and I'm bringing that all the way down. And I'm gonna remix this down, just down a little more. -17. Now our clap. This one should be pretty easy. Let's just throw an EQ on it. Let's copy this. Copy. And let's cut off our low end. One thing we could do is we could solo it and play with the the high pass until it starts to sound different, our sound, and then just bring it back a little bit. So right there, perfect. I'm sure you could hear it change a little bit, but those frequencies weren't doing anything for the sound, so I just cut them. So the whole thing about mixing is you want to cut everything that doesn't need to be there so you can make room for other stuff that does need to be there. So let's continue editing and see what goes and how I do this and whatnot. Okay, so same thing with the low pass. I just bring it down until it starts making a difference. And I took down some of the highs because I'm thinking proactively in that I know the bells are going to take up a lot of the highs, so I want to make room for that. Let's continue. Perfect. Beautiful. You probably noticed that I'm not really boosting a lot of frequencies, and that's a really, really good thing. You don't want to boost frequencies that often, because it's going to get messy. So you see me taking a lot of frequencies out, and that's going to make for a pretty good mix. Let's continue on. I'm just kind of saying whatever as we go. So let's mix this and see how it sounds. Okay, so you see me adding a lot of highs, or not highs, adding a lot of reverb to the high ends, and that's because I really want to fill up the high end. It adds like a dithering effect to your sound, and if you don't know what dithering means, all it is like background noise. It really fills out your spectrum, so it's nice to add reverb to your highs but not to your lows. You don't want to muddy up the low end. Again, I've explained all this before, so check out my other videos if you don't know all this stuff. Let's play around with this. Let's add another node. Bring it down. because I know the crash is pretty much going to be the same. Oops. And let's add another return track. Oops, what did I just do? Oh, nothing. Okay, so Control-Shift-T. Let's rename this long reverb delay. So let's add a ping pong delay. Where are you? Ping pong delay. Here, perfect. Let's just put this up like this. This should be fine. Feedback, fine. Let's play with adding the crash to it. Okay, so this is actually coming out really nice. Let's find a spot where the click is. Right here is fine. I didn't really explain it, but I am monoing all my high-end things and my low-end things. So like my crashes, I'm monoing them, and my kick I'm monoing, and that's just to make the everything sound a little bit better when I'm mixing. I'm adding stereo-ness to it by having the reverb and stuff. So, I mean, it's not very necessary to have a stereo sound while it's in the editing mode. It's really confusing to explain, but trust me on this. Stuff like crashes, mono them. Stuff like kicks, mono them. You can keep your like snare and clap wide if you want, not super wide, but they don't need to be mono. If you're really interested in it, just read about it. There's a lot of stuff on the internet that teaches you all about mixing and mono and all that fun stuff, and why you should do it to avoid phasing and all that, but I'm not going to get into that. Let's continue. I think that's everything. Yep, that's fine. So let's start with the other sounds. Start with the bell. Okay, I'm gonna explain myself. I'm boosting the highs of this sound because they just don't sound like they're there. It's more of a sound design thing. The high end it has a lot of room. The high end has a lot of headroom. You can put a lot of stuff in there without getting muddy, unlike the low end where you can't have that much stuff. So I'm boosting the highs of the bell because it will make it sound better, in my opinion. But if it starts to sound too muddy in the high end, I will definitely tone it down. But it sounds fine, so let's play around. One thing I didn't do is some compression for the drums, so let's play around with the drums. I'm going to put an EQ on the group. Slight, very slight. Doing very slight EQ. Just trying to make room for the vocals so they'll pop in a little more by taking out some of the mid-range, because that's where all the vocals are. Now I'm going to get a glue compressor, and I'm just going to use the full parallel for the drums. And this just makes it sound a little bit tighter, which is nice. Let's put this at 6. And that should be good. So let's play with EQ and all this other stuff. Oh, yeah. Okay, so now the fun part. I'm going to use an audio effects rack to get some frequency splitting. So I'm going to do create chain. I'm going to do an EQ3. I'm going to take out the low end. I'm going to duplicate the chain. I guess not. I guess I'll do this. And I'm going to do that. So I'll call this low end. I'll call the other one other. Put the low end on top for all I care. And we're just gonna mono out the low end. So I'll show you with and without. With, out, and then with. And it just makes it a little bit tighter. A lot of you probably won't like the way that it sounds, but monoing the low end is kind of an important deal when it comes to mixing. One thing we're going to do is EQ, or compress. And I'm also going to Control D this. I'm going to put an impulse on this instead. And I'm going to also delete all of this. Of course I did. I'm going to drag an impulse. I'm going to take our kick sample. I'm going to drag it into our impulse. So now should be playing, but it's not. Oh, that's right. I'm also going to turn this one off and just set it to 0. Or where it was before. Call this Ghost 808. And the reason I'm doing this Ghost 808 is so that I can sidechain my 808, and it's going to be nice and easy. So what I'm going to do is go into Effects, throw a compressor on the instrumental group, click this little arrow, click sidechain, duplicate it, and do one from the kick, one from the 808, Ghost 808, one from the kick, and I'm going to duplicate it, do one from the snare. So turn the attack a little down. Just play with it until I get a nice sound. This is a perfect spot to hear how it affects the sound. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so now it's... Okay, so sidechaining is very, very important in mixing. I've probably said like a million different things are important in mixing, but it's true. Sidechaining, it gives your whatever you're sidechaining, it gives it room to do its thing. So I'm giving room to the kick to shine through, and that's really important. So I'll show you guys with and without. Let me just make this a little easier on myself. So that's with, and then without. So you hear when I have it with, it really, or without, when I have it without, it kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? It gets really wet sounding, and it just sounds like a really bad car stereo, I guess is the way to explain it, with the bad low end. But then if you sidechain it, it sounds good. It sounds like it's supposed to be, like what it's supposed to be. And yeah, so sidechaining is very important, and you should definitely learn how to do it if you're watching this and you don't know already. So let's move on again.
If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm lead for the beat. I got the top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm lead for the beat. I got the top round dogs with me.
Let's rename this ping pong. Alt T. Ow. Let's also throw a compressor on this. Let's what was I gonna do? Oh man, I don't remember. Oh yeah, I was gonna add a simple delay in this return track.
Lead for the beat, I'm gonna top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm lead for the beat. I'm gonna top round dogs. Lead for the beat. I'm gonna top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm gonna top round dogs with me.
Okay, so just a very small effect, just to fill out the bottom end, or to fill out the sound. I mean, not the bottom end. Just a simple delay on a return track. Very, very small effect, but very, very substantial when it comes to the mix. You might not notice it, but it definitely is there.
Lead for the beat. I'm gonna top round dogs with me.
And I think I'm going to compress this, of course, when I'm done. I think I'm going to add a little bit of my own reverb on the return, on this track, not on the return track. I'll have this after that. Let me just put this like this.
Lead for the beat. I'm gonna top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm lead for the beat. I'm gonna top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm lead for the beat. I'm gonna top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm lead for the beat. I'm gonna top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm lead for the beat. I'm gonna top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, lead for the beat. I'm gonna top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm lead for the beat. I'm gonna top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, leave for the beat. Grand dance with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, you know, yeah, I'm leave for the beat. I got the top grand dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, leave for the beat. I got the top grand dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, you know, yeah, I'm leave for the beat. I got the top grand dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, leave for the beat. I got the top grand dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, you know, yeah, I'm leave for the beat. I got the top grand dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah,
Swag blazing, same way that made Oopsie Daisy. Same way getting hate from my waist, man. Same way make a bitch go crazy. Still the grime scene savior. Back now, just a bit more paper. Fling 10 bags at a hater. Sony or not man's made.
I'm leave for the beat. I got the top grand dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, you know, yeah, I'm leave for the beat. I got the top grand dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah,
Swag blazing, same way that made Oopsie Daisy. Same way getting hate from my waist, man. Same way make a bitch go crazy. Still the grime scene savior. Back now, just a bit more paper.
leave for the beat. I got the top grand dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, yo, they're like who's in the rhythm? Only real top grand dogs, I'ma get him. Acting, only one flames in the rhythm. Forward, reload, that's what I'm digging. And you might see me creep for the hood, chilling. Go like a quick break ting. Women, trying to get a bill, getting money, swimming. I'm Usain Bolt on the rhythm, I'm winning.
Well. Serious. You get a
Leave for the beat. I got the top grand dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm money, swimming. I'm Usain Bolt on the rhythm, I'm winning.
well. Serious. You get a punch in the nose like blam. You get a big nose bleed like blam. You get a chip on the floor like blam. Drag your face across the curb like blam. Now fling you in the road like blam. You get elbow drop like well.
Might be one like do do da 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 da. I wonder if I could do da 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 da. No telling who's gonna start charting, drop my new style like do do da 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 da. Might be.
Yeah, I'm leave for the 2011. Yeah, I'm leave for the beat. I got the top grand dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, you know, yeah, I'm leave for the beat. I got the top grand dogs with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, yo, they're like who's in the rhythm? Only real top grand dogs, I'ma get him. Acting, only one flames in the rhythm. Forward, reload, that's what I'm digging. And you might see me creep for the hood, chilling. Go like a quick break ting. Women, trying to get a bill game. 2011. Yeah, I'm leave for the beat.
Man, I am digging this so much right now.
Know about me?
Swag blazing, same way that made Oopsie Daisy. Same way getting hate from my waist, man. Same way make a bitch go crazy. Still the grime scene.
Know about me?
Give me the mic, this rhythm is mine. I'ma skip like I've got skipper inside. The mix alive, why I deliver the hype. Better than every one of you spitters combined. Yeah, the best of all living alive. Yeah, I'll be the best in Britain alive. Yeah, if it's a game, then give me the prize. Yeah. If it's a game, then give me the prize. Yeah. I'm from the. If it's a game, then give me the prize. Yeah. I'm old school. I'm from the manor. I've up here every rave. Bitch, I'm MC Shaq. Yeah. I'm old school. I'm old school. I'm old school. I'm old school. I'm from the manor. I've up here every rave. Bitch, I'm MC Shabba. But I wasn't an original thing, so leave.
So I gotta kind of EQ this one because his voice is all nasally and I really don't like the nasaliness of it. So let's just cut some of the. Do I have a cut on this? Yeah, I do. So let's listen and see how it goes.
I'm from the manor, I've up here every rave. Bitch, I'm MC Shabba. But I wasn't an original thing, so leave for the middle, please give it 16. I'm selfish, Grim knows all about me. Yeah, I'm on the money, man, it's all about cheese. And I don't mean but wine, but I'm lying. Fuck that, I couldn't give a flying in. The whole hood never like, am I right in? Cause I'm hood like Little Red Riding. Oh, what big balls you have? Murder, but nigga, no pen. If you this K.A., your skin burnt. I'm from the manor, I've up here every rave. Bitch, I'm MC Shabba. But I wasn't an original thing, so leave for the middle, please give it 16. I'm selfish, Grim knows all about me. Yeah, I'm on the money, man, it's all about cheese. And I don't mean but wine, but I'm lying. Fuck that, I couldn't give a flying in. The whole hood never like, am I right in? Cause I'm hood like Little Red Riding. Oh, what big balls you have? Murder, but nigga, no pen. If you this K.A., your skin burnt. I'm from the manner. I'd appeared every rave. Bitch, I'm MC Shabba. I was on an original thing, so leave for the middle, please give it 16. I'm selfish, Grim knows all about me. Yeah, I'm on the money, man, it's all about cheese. And I don't mean but wine when I'm lying. Fuck that. Little Red Riding. Oh, what big balls you have? Murder, but nigga, no pen. If you this K.A. your skin burn. Little Red Riding. Oh, what big balls you have? Murder, but nigga, no pen. If you this K.A. your skin burn.
Let me leave for the B. Under the top round dance with me. Leave for the B. Let me leave for the B. Yeah, I'm leave for the B. Yeah, I'm leave for the B. I'm leave for the.
Okay, so last minute edits. Nothing wrong with a little last minute editing. That should be fine right there, I think. Let's check our fades. I gotta add it. Let's check our fades here. Yeah, I'll add it right here.
Yeah, I'm leave for the B. Under the top round dance with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm leave for the. Yeah, I'm leave for the B. Under the top round dance with me. Yeah, I'm leave for the B. Under the top round dance with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm, you know, yeah, I'm leave for the B. Under the top round dance with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm leave for the B. Under the top round dance with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm, you know, yeah, I'm leave for the B. Under the top round dance with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm leave for the B. Under the top round dance with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm, you know, yeah, I'm leave for the B. Under the top round dance with me. If you don't know about me, yeah, I'm. For the B, under the top round dance with me. Yeah, know about me? Yeah, I'm, you know, yeah, I'm leave for the B. Yeah, I'm.
Last minute, always a good thing.
Yeah, I'm leave for the. I'm leave. Yeah, I'm. Yeah, I'm. Yeah, I'm. Yeah, I'm.
Okay, so control. I guess I could clip it and then reverse it. It's all about being weird, right? Shit, I love that. That's awesome. I'm so happy. Holy crap, I think that's it. I think that's the song. I think I'll make another video for mastering, because that was 3 hours. 3 hours. I remade an old song, made it sound way better. And I'm gonna blast this on my speakers because I've been wearing headphones for the last 3 hours, and I'm dying to hear how it sounds. So let's take this off the master too. Don't forget to do that.
Leave for the beat.
And it sounds good. Oh! Okay, so next time we'll be mastering it, and yeah. So thanks for watching. If you watch the entire thing, you are psycho. You're crazy, and you're the reason I make this. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really hope you learned something. And like, comment, please comment, and subscribe. So goodbye.